Oh, the street cart food.
You ate some of that stuff too?
No, I mean, I've. Well, it depends what was served. I mean, it depends. Again, I've had some street carts before, but that was the last time I ever had it. I'll be honest with you, was at a church I went to, and they rented out a a street cart that you actually make meat in, like beef.
Oh yeah, the carne acida or the bonchero or the barilla
Yeah, like
or the
they
barbacoa.
yeah, like all those, like El Pastor, my favorite.
Yeah,
Like,
uh, that's one of the street cart foods that I went to. The second one was this thing called Sonoran hot dog.
what's that?
It's like a hot dog with three different types of sauces: beans, bacon, uh, tomato, onions, and they give you like a complimentary chili.
Wow.
And I ate that one, and I'm like, tastes good. After 6 hours, I needed to go to the bathroom really
Oh
badly.
no. Oh my god, I can just imagine having to go number two a
and I,
lot.
and I had the worst food poisoning. It made me stay inside Mexico for 3 days.
Oh my god, I could just imagine. I could just imagine that.
And then my friends are like, "Oh, you had the hot dogs here. They taste good, but they're horrible for your stomach." And I'm like, "Thanks, asshole. You should have told me that beforehand." And then he said, "Oh, did you had the waters too?" And I'm like, "I didn't know it was poison." Because I had a horchata,
Yeah.
and I never actually had a horchata before in my life.
Yeah.
And then I had a tamarindo. Also, never had that in my whole life. And I thought both of them tasted good. Didn't know crap about how they used water that is from sink.
Uh,
And that's when I completely and utterly got sick. Hooray!
well, it just. Well, as far as eating off of a food cart, I mean, it just depends on the food, but it also depends on the cleanliness of it. And I would probably hate it so much as to not want to get food poisoning. And I mean, it's just, oh God.
It's just that I saw so many people going into that one cart that I thought it was safe. Because so many people went into that one cart.
Yeah.
And I seen some Americans go in there, and I thought, oh, hey, it must be good and stuff like that. When they were like talking, they were like having a blast and stuff like that, and I saw them order the two drinks and a hot dog. I'm thinking, I should get that. It seems safe enough. Oh boy, was I wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that I have ever eaten from Mexico that has stayed inside my stomach is this fried chicken thing with hot sauce, lettuce, a bun, and like a bunch of fries.
Mm.
That and the tacos al pastor are the only two things inside Mexico that I have not died from.
Yes, tacos el pastor. I've had some and they're really good. In fact, well, if you ever get the chance to have it, try it.
Yeah.
And then let's see, other stuff we could talk about. Um,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Via Vanilla and you were talking about the Mexican candy.
oh, of course, we were talking about like the Mexican candies that happen in my little part of like we call it Little Mexico because it's like a taste of Mexico. Well, we went to I went to my local La Carniceria. I'm surprised I'm even saying that right. I went to my carniceria, and I did see the uh, the clown lollipop.
Clown lollipop. Yeah, I bought that in something called Food City.
Yeah, well, I believe officially it's called paleta payaso.
Yeah, it it looks weird. It's like a marshmallow covered in chocolate with three gumdrops.
Well, that's what it is, and but I know that not. I mean, I've tried that once, and it was good. I enjoyed it, but I think it was the what is it called, marzipan?
Yeah, marzipan. That's the peanut butter. What was it called?
I
It is a peanut butter flavored nut niche. It's like a confection, and I ate both the payaso thingy and that. I hate the payaso thing with a passion because it's too freaking sweet. But that other thing, the marzipan de la rosa,
de la
was
rosa.
really good actually.
Yes.
Even though it's sometimes turned into some mulchy powder.
Yeah, but still, that stuff is so good. I'm telling you, it was so good. Like, especially the last time, not just when we last talked about it, me and Via, but just the fact that I've had it before, and it is so good. Paleta payaso, very good, but not as good as de la rosa. And um, but what
uh,
about Mexican Coca or Mexican Coca-Cola? Sorry.
well, the Mexican Coca-Cola has a lot more sugar intake, but it tastes a lot better than the American one because of the corn syrup that they use over here in America. However, if I really want to say what tastes like the best as a cola drink, I have to go with cola champagne, which is a Puerto Rican drink.
I don't think we have that.
Yeah, of course we don't. Over here, not many people get Puerto Rican products, unless you are into Malta Goya, because Goya is a product of both Mexico and Puerto Rico.
Hmm. Well, even so, it's like I bet it tastes good.
I used to love Malta because my grandfather took me to Puerto Rico a long time ago. He told me he survived in the forest for about a week and a half. And when we got out of the forest, or rainforest, or whatever, the jungle of that place, we were pretty much on Starving Peak, and that was like my third restaurant that I have ever been into. We went there and celebrated everything that they were doing, and I had one cola champagne, one uva del marquio, which is a grape soda,
Yeah.
and then Malta India, which they only sell over there in freaking Puerto Rico. Also, best stuff ever. If you ever go to Puerto Rico, get some of the dishes there. I loved the rabbit stew that they made.
The rabbit stew. Ooh, that sounds good.
Yes, it was really delicious when I went there.
That sounds pretty good to me, actually. Rabbit stew. I know that what's his name, Bugs Bunny's gonna hate me for that, but hey, it sounds good. Cause
Bugs Bunny was allergic to carrots anyway.
well, speaking of Bugs Bunny, I'm pretty okay. This is something that's completely different than any other interview that I've ever asked. But speaking of Bugs Bunny, have you ever watched any of the classic Looney Tunes cartoons?
Yes, I have. That's practically the only thing my grandfather really approved of. That, Tom and Jerry, Pink Panther, Flintstones was like my childhood. Because that's the only thing that my grandfather let me watch.
Oh,
Everything else was like completely forbidden.
wow. Well, still, as far as Looney Tunes and all that stuff, I would have to say favorite characters. Favorite characters. Mine would have to be um, probably Daffy Duck or Porky Pig. Those are like my two favorites.
What a great combo. My two favorites is Pepe Le Pew and Sylvester the Cat.
Wow. Those are two good ones as well. I like them, as well as their perennial rivals. Like, well, for Sylvester, he has Tweety. I do like Tweety though, just not as much as Daffy or Porky.
So you like Pepe Le Pew's rival, which is any cat.
Yes, a cat that accidentally gets paint spilled on their tail, and then Peppy thinks that person or thinks the girl is a skunk herself, even though she was really a cat all along.
Ah. That's heartwarming. But if I actually say what is like the best character that they didn't really put too much thought in, is Taz, the Tasmanian Devil. They didn't put too much thought of that. However, it's been a gigantic icon in the 90s.
Well, yeah, especially with Space Jam.
I watched Space Jam when I was like 14, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I really enjoyed it at the time. I mean, like, I will say that basketball in the '90s was so much exciting than it is now.
Actually, all sports in the 90s was really exciting.
I mean, I know that a good friend of mine says that when it comes to the football, he says that it hasn't been fun ever since Roger Goodell took over as the commissioner of the NFL, because, it's like it's not fun anymore. It's like I hardly ever watch football, and when I do, it's usually around playoff time. But even so, it's
Cruz
not.
Azul! Cruz Azul! Cruz Azul!
Yeah. Oh well, I was talking about American football, but as far as football. Yeah, I did not know that you were a big fan of, well, the Blue Cross, or Cruz Azul, as is officially the name.
Well, yes, I am a very big fan of that.
Are you a fan of any of the other football teams in different leagues? Like, for example, like you've heard of Manchester United and all the other ones. Any other favorite teams from different leagues?
From different leagues. I like the Japan team, the women's Japan team of football, if you really want me to say that.
I never would have thought that, but yeah, the women do play well, especially for all the number of times that the Japanese women's team has competed on the grand stage, and it's amazing. And I mean, as far as me, in terms of what's the name of the league that Cruz Azul is in?
Shit. I don't remember. I haven't seen many of the football.
Well, I mean, because I am a big fan, but I'm a big fan of La Chivas.
The only thing that I know from Las Chivas is that they always have this gaudy shirt, and it always has the word bimbo on it.
Yeah, we're talking about the bread bimbo, not the other bimbo. You know what we mean. Well, by you,
Well,
I mean
I'm calling it by the actual other bimbo.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very horrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But as far as yeah, I do watch La Chivas, and I also watch a little bit from the other leagues, especially with not Manchester United. What's the name? Real Madrid a little bit.
Oh, I see.
But I mean, but all in all, I mean, I'm not that big of a football fan in that sense, but I can see why people love football, because it's a simple game, and yet it's so exciting. I mean, it's like you don't have to make the rules all complicated. It's just that simple of a game.
Well, yeah, I know that it's not that complicated, but it's not too simple of a game as well.
Well, it's at least it's easy to understand.
Well, yes, it is easy to understand. However, there is more of the you need the speed, the right calculation, the almost geometry if you really want to think about it. You have to think
Yeah.
more on how I can push this ball to my other teammate so my teammate can score.
Yes.
Now, the league is Liga MX
Yeah.
for Cruz Azul. So it's like a Mexican city, a Mexico City of the league and stuff like that. However, you like the Chivas, right?
Yeah.
Why do you like goats?
Well, cause my dad is from Guadalajara. He
Oh,
comes from Guadalajara, and he just he grew up with it, and likewise he brought it here when he met my mother, and then they got together, and then here I was born. But he did share it with me, and I've never been to an actual game. Just the fact that he just watches it whenever it's out, it just that's the one thing that just brings a lot of joy in his life. And who am I to not who am I to just deny him that, really?